one of the things that I do is, again, is if people pay you up front, they're going to show up, right? So if you're a coach, if you're a consultant, there may be a little type of a mind switch that says, hey, it's okay for me to get paid up front because, I'm worth it. And if you want to hire me and learn from my skills and want me to help you with your business or your situation, you have to pay me up front.
Are you a consulting business owner seeking a better way to scale to your next million in revenue? Accelerate Sales Podcast features other experts who have cracked the code to predictable revenues with proven sales systems that quickly increase revenue and get you on the fast track back to doing what you do best. Now let's accelerate your sales with today's episode.
Welcome to the Accelerate Sales Podcast. So excited to have you here. If it's your first time and you love what you hear or see, please subscribe. If you're a regular, always welcome those iTunes reviews. And really thank you if you've given one so far. And if you haven't, that's the least you can do given the community that we run here. The notes, take them if you want, by all means, but we will also have a transcription and we'll also have all the links in the show notes as well for you. And I will look down from time to time when I'm interviewing our wonderful guest, and that's just to take notes to make sure that we've got the right call to action for you to help you to accelerate sales. So you're going to learn 3 key things, but there's going to be more. But let me pull out my 3 key things you're going to learn. One is you're going to learn how to sell your services from this platform in a very easy way. The second is how to improve the show up rate to your meetings. Wouldn't you love that? Isn't there nothing worse when you're so excited to talk to someone and they just don't show up? And the third thing is how to run events from this platform. So today's guest has been an entrepreneur for 25 years. He's started when he was 17. His LinkedIn profile's like a toilet roll of so many different things that he's done. And I think he's really hit his absolute high at a perfect time for what is us being more virtual or running our businesses more virtual. He is also an author, a speaker, a podcaster. He also has a magazine or a publication called bossitude.com, which we'll put in the links. And he loves helping millions of coaches and consultants and now small businesses to do sales easily. And don't we all need that? So what I'm going to do now is hand you over to Nahum Klingman from Book Like a Boss, or we call it Blab for short. Welcome, Nahum Klingman, to the Accelerate Sales Podcast. Very excited to have you here, Nahum.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to dig in.
Yeah, look, every podcast, well, not everyone, but most people say, this is my favorite. I was so excited to have you on, but generally, I'm so excited. You're one of the tools that I use every second of my work day. My team love it. I've got lots of my clients who use it. So excited to talk about Book Like a Boss with you today. But, you're the CEO, you're the founder. Out of your own words, who is this product best for?
So it's funny because first I'm a co-founder. I don't want to leave out my co-founder and CTO, David.
Yes.
My partner in crime, so to speak. But it was originally created. Funny, it was originally created for coaches and solopreneurs, people that were looking to easily get online and start selling their services. It has since morphed into more for companies and businesses that have multiple users and need multiple seats. We still obviously service our solopreneurs and we're still building out features for them, but we now have expanded to be able to handle companies of any size.
Yeah, excellent. And, tell me what problem does it solve for those, as you're expanding, what problems does it help solve?
So the main problem that we set out to solve, and I think, we do pretty uniquely, is to give an optimized selling experience for people that are looking to book you. A lot of times, I'll get someone on LinkedIn will send me a link to their Calendly link or to their scheduling link, and there's no personality there. Doesn't tell me anything about the person. When you're taking a person's precious moments, if you have 60 seconds with them, you want to be able to answer all the questions they may have. And as you know, with sales, it's all about crossing off the nose. And so we optimized our pages to really give you all the answers somebody may have in order to get them to book you. So to have it all in one place. That would be, I would say, the first thing is that's actually optimized to get the bookings. The second thing I definitely want to talk about is the different types of bookings that we offer. It's not really just about booking appointments, but you can do memberships with us. And I know we're going to dig into this, Paul. We talked about, events, one-on-one meetings, group meetings, webinars. I mean, there's really, we keep coming out with different types of booking pages that you can create and customize for your needs.
And have you seen an expansion given, COVID, and I suppose all of us are gone more virtual now? Not for me, I've been doing this for 10 years, but there's a lot of others. Is that really driven? Have you seen an increase in usage and also new users to Book Like a Boss?
Yeah, it was funny. I shouldn't say funny, but like the first year after the first year of COVID, in the beginning, it was very hard for us to talk about. Our sales actually doubled because we're one of Zoom's top apps in their app store. And as you know, Zoom exploded around the world. And as they exploded, we sort of, got on their curtails. And so, 2020, we actually doubled our sales without doing anything really. And at first it was actually, we felt guilty. We didn't want to say anything. We didn't want to talk about it because nobody wants to profit, to be successful, on something that's so, devastating to so many people around the world. So, it's kind of that like, okay, well, business for us is doing well, but yet so many people are out of business. And it was a painful conflict, but, as time went on and you realize that, we're doing a service for people and we were very quick to give schools and first responders free accounts without any questions, to use us to help them, homeschooling and booking appointments or whatever is needed. And so we felt that, it also enabled us to give back in a certain way.
Oh, that's brilliant. Really, that's great. It warms my heart, and I'm sure it warms the heart of people listening. And, we're here to talk about sales and just quickly how I came across you. I came across you in an AppSumo deal. It's a bit like a drug for me. Some people, collect watches, whatever. I collect apps, right? And I actually sold a technology business where we used to install apps within the agencies. And, then it was okay. But my wife's now like, you have sold that business a couple of years ago. And I'm like, I'm addicted. I can't help getting them. But I think out of the ones that I've bought, yours is the one that I've definitely used the most, as I said a little bit earlier. And, a couple of ways that I love to use it is the fact that, as you said, gives you a personality. It's beautifully branded. Your design is fantastic, which I love, right? So you're proud to actually send it to somebody versus, like you said, some of your other interfaces or your competitors' interfaces aren't like that. And the other thing was the ability to also ask questions. So you could pre-qualify both for the person that was booking the call. So it's really important that they're not, wasting their time, and also for you. You don't want to get on a call and that you can't help someone. So those were the sort of two key features that stood out and really grabbed me. But I know you continue to add features, which I also love, right? I'm fortunate I'm on a free plan for life, which is, one of the benefits of getting in early. But I think for other people, you just keep continuing to add benefits, and, the pricing is effectively, maintained. So tell us about, some of the ways that you see people use Book Like a Boss for sales. And, we can go in as deep or as shallow as you want on this, but I know that everyone's keen to hear more about it.
Sure. So, first of all, thank you for using us. And that is just your use case is the use case that I came up with. How I came up with the idea, because I was a business coach. And when I launched my podcast and I published my book, so I was getting a lot of people, messaging me, hey, can I take you out for coffee? Can I buy you lunch? And I was like, oh, well, I charge for my time. Oh, how much do you charge? I charge $250 an hour. Oh, wow. Well, what does that include? What services do you offer? Like, can you tell me more about you? Like when it was a free cup of coffee, it didn't matter so much, but it was a time waster for me, all the back and forth. And it was very draining. And I said, I wish there was a way that when someone contacts me and says, hey, can I take out for coffee? Can I pick your brain? That I could just send them a link, say, sure. And when they go to that link, they see, oh, wow, he charges for his time. This is why he charges for his time. This is what other people say about him. And these are the services he offers. And then if they're serious, they'll book it and pay me. And I'll never forget. I mean, as an entrepreneur, and I don't mean to go off track here, but that first time, and after a year of building the platform, and we launched the beta, that first time when somebody messaged me, "Hey, can I take you out for a cup of coffee?" And I said, "Sure. Here's my link to book some time with me." And then I woke up the next morning with $250 in my account. It was like a very surreal moment. I said, "This is why I built this."
And how many of your clients actually use it for paid services versus just booking it for that call to then upsell into services?
Great question. So I'd say right now it's about 55% people use us just for booking free appointments, which is I think what most people are used to. So like if you're used to using other scheduling apps, we do everything they do, but we give you more and more customizations and unlimited bookings, et cetera. And about 45% are using us for actually selling services and getting paid. But we're seeing that we're sort of seeing that shift. It used to be 60-40, 55. Now it's more 55-45. But I think as time goes on and people learn more about Book Like a Boss and what we offer, because today people aren't clicking on Google and saying, "What software can I use to sell services online?"
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
It's not, because it's pretty unique what we're doing. And so people don't even realize that it's out there. But once people realize what's out there and that what we're able to do, then that eureka moment happens and, and they sign up and, so we're starting to see more people use us for selling services and not just for booking free appointments.
Great. So I know that I mentioned the questions is one of the features where you can, put in your customized questions that people can answer before they book the call, which is great. What about the follow-up? I know that for a lot of people, they think, great, I've booked the call, but then they sort of forget about it and then the person doesn't show. Like, what are some of the ways that you actually help ensure that there's a higher likelihood of someone getting to the call?
Sure. So it's a universal problem that people have. One of the ways that we solve it is by offering both email reminders and SMS reminders. So, we allow you up to 5 email and 5 SMS reminders per booking. So, that's obviously the first way to get people to remember that they have the booking with you, and hopefully get them to show up. But there are other tricks of the trade, that can come up that you could do to help make sure people show. One of the things that I do is if people pay you up front, they're going to show up, right? So if you're a coach, if you're a consultant, there may be a little type of a mind switch that says, "Hey, it's okay for me to get paid up front because, I'm worth it. And, if you want to hire me and learn from my skills and want me to help you with your business or your situation, you have to pay me up front." So when people pay you up front, that's definitely, 99 out of 100 times they're going to show up.
Yeah.
Of course, the reminders help. But there are other tricks that you could do. You just start reaching out on social media saying, "Hey, by the way, I'm so excited about our meeting coming up tomorrow at 2." Those type of things can also help to make sure people show.
Great. And are they things that, I know a lot of people use virtual assistants, and certainly, that's what I do, and my team are very active in doing that. Is that something that you would typically, give to your virtual assistant to help increase the show up rate?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we definitely, first of all, when it comes to actual bookings, you can have the booking confirmations go out to as many as 5 different people besides yourself. Yeah. So you could have your virtual assistants get notifications. They can do the follow-up. Help you prepare for the meetings, make sure you don't miss out on the meetings. It's definitely one of the core things that we did in building the software was making it simple for non-techies. Trying to build a Wix site with bookings, even if it's easy, it's still, if you don't know anything about technology, it could take you weeks to get out a Wix site. Yeah. With us, we built it. There's no drag and drop. Everything is like answering questions or drop down boxes. And so we make it simple for even a non-technical person to do it. So if you have a virtual assistant that may not be a techie, it's a perfect and easy solution for them as well.
Yeah, look, I can account for that. I am a techie person, but I did find it one of the easier products to set up and get started, which, purchased, like I said, off AppSumo as an example. And, you talked about, social media tips to get people to calls, but is there any particular messages, type of messages, like what have you seen as best practice to invite people to calls?
I would simply say some sort of incentive, meaning, hey, I'm going to share this free gift with you, after our call, or, I have an ebook that I want to share with you, or, one of the things that we started to do just internally is to create mock-up sites for potential customers, and tease them with that. Said, hey, we built a site, with your branding. I can't wait to show it to you. You're going to love it. Right. So it sort of creates it's not just a meeting, but there's something exciting happening that would encourage you to come to the meeting.
That's a great idea because, on a LinkedIn profile, for example, that'd be another example where you could actually mock up their profile and say, this is what I'd like to talk to you about. I sort of love that. And what about video? Where's video going with the platform? I know at the moment you can have on the sidebar, you can have, links external, etc. But what about native video where, you're actually, instead of having the text, you're actually videoing, you're talking directly to the person. You may already have it, but if not, when are you looking to do something like that?
Right. So today, because you create custom pages, unlimited pages, so you can upload a YouTube video to a specific page, and you can make that video directly towards a potential customer. And of course, you could have your calendar booking underneath it, so that it's a more personalized message. I'm gonna make things pretty easy to with our copy paste feature. You can take your most popular services or appointments, and literally, like within 1 minute, you could copy it, change the names on it, so it gives a more personalized result. And then you can just switch out the YouTube video to a customized YouTube video. Just yesterday, we were talking. I guess this is something your listeners will hear first. But we're talking about, we had a meeting about moving forward and making it simpler to create pages with landing pages with text or with videos with call to actions at the bottom. With hopefully being able to upload your own videos directly without having to use YouTube, or to be able to use other platforms like Vimeo as well. So we're definitely heading in that direction. I mean, you talked before about always adding features. To me, we're only about 30% of where the vision is. And so there really is so much more to come, and so much more that we want to do.
Yeah, and like I said, it's you're brilliant at innovating, and that's why I think COVID, like you said, which is not great for any of us in the world, but I don't think it's just that's double sales. I think it's the ability to continually innovate. And you talked about events, right? So events, just tell us a little bit about how someone can run an event or a group meeting or a webinar, et cetera, using the platform.
Sure. So a lot of times you may want to do a webinar, or you may want to do a one-time event, whether it's a Zoom video or connecting to a YouTube Live, which is something I use the platform for. We enable you to create a page that highlights the event. So you could put a video up there, and then it's a specific day and time. So someone books for the event, it already specifically books for that date and time. And of course, email reminders can be set up, in the SMS and the pre-qualification questions that you want to ask them, as you talked about before. We also have a countdown timer, so people could see exactly when the event is going to take place and when they have to sign up for. And that's also pretty unique also in terms of scheduling apps out there. I think we're the only ones that actually do that with a countdown timer. But also, if you had like a 3-day event or ongoing classes, a weekly dance class, right? So you can use our events feature to create ongoing, events, whether it's a 3-day event or it's 1 day a week for 3 weeks, or for 3 days, or for 3 months. We make it very simple to set those up as well.
Yeah, brilliant. And the other one is around your integration. So I must admit, personally, I use ActiveCampaign. We use that as a business, and it's a great tool. And I actually looked through the platform and the integrations just before you jumped on the call. And I've said to my team, hey, can you find out more about this? But why not hear it directly from the horse's mouth, so to speak? So if you're on ActiveCampaign, I know there's MailChimp as well, how does that interact with the platform? And for those, I'm sure most of you know, but it's an email marketing or email automation platform is ActiveCampaign and MailChimp.
Yeah. So we have two ways we integrate. One is direct integrations, and the other is using Zapier, which we're connected with. So we've been in touch with ActiveCampaign, and they want us to integrate with them. We want to integrate with them. We don't have a direct integration with them just yet, but you could integrate with them through Zapier. MailChimp, we have a direct integration with, as well as Zoom and Google Meets and Google Tag Manager and others. But that is, adding more integrations is something that we're going to be focusing on towards the end of the year and beginning of 2022, especially now that we're more in focusing on businesses and small businesses. There's definitely more direct integrations that people are asking for.
And say ActiveCampaign, what would be a use case for using ActiveCampaign integration? Even if it is Zapier at the moment, what's a use case?
I guess that someone gets a booking. The booking notification goes into the the email clients, and you could already set it up for follow-up, even after the meetings, which is important. A steady flow of different emails that go out about that specific booking or meeting that you're doing.
Okay, fantastic. Well, look, I know I could talk to you forever, and we're going to have you as a podcast sponsor moving forward, which I'm very excited about. So we'll continue to update on the new features and all the things that you're adding. But before we go into the next section, I would like to talk to you if you're running a consulting business or you're running a business that is scaling. I want to know if you've got the right system in place to double your referrals to drive more revenue. And, a lot of the referrals come from your inner network, and you get to a certain point, and then, how do you go past that? So what I've got is 9 key questions that actually gets you to look and benchmark against best practice. It'll take you 3 minutes, and then post that, there's going to be a call with me. It's not a sales call. It's actually a call where I can specifically help highlight those gaps and then give you some suggestions on how you can close it. So you can find out more about that at paulhigginsmentoring.com/pulse. So we're going to go into the rapid fire section now. Are you ready for that?
I hope so. Let's go.
All right, come on, let's go. So remember, a sip of beer, it's just a quick, short answer. So the first thing is, what are some sales habits that make you successful?
I guess focus, taking the time to turn off my phone and close my door and just focus on setting up what are the sales meetings and leads that I want to go after for that week. Just taking that time to really organize yourself.
Great. Obviously, Book Like a Boss is a tool that you and hopefully more will use as an essential tool for getting more sales. But what else do you use? What are a couple of key essential pieces of technology or platforms that you use to get more sales?
So right now, one of the key things that we've done is we enabled our Powered By, which is a term used in our industry. It's how Hotmail really took off. Yeah. And Gmail, et cetera, where we have a Powered By Book Like a Boss link that's on the bottom. We do have a plan. We have plans that allow you to remove it, but a lot of our lower cost plans have it. And, so we get a lot of referrals and a lot of people coming in traffic just from other people using our platform.
Great. So that's helping you. What about, so is that a particular platform that you use for that, or is that something that's custom?
It's custom. We built ourselves.
What about tools like a sales CRM? What sales CRM do you use?
We use Pipedrive.
Okay.
Which is, we found easy to use and pretty good.
Okay, great. What about for you? What's some of the best sources that you get information on how to accelerate your sales?
Believe it or not, podcasts are one of the biggest ways. I love it. For me, it's how I relax, and I love listening to a good podcast on, hearing from the experts, exactly how to do sales and what's working for them. There's also, just for us particularly, there's a couple of people in the SaaS space that always creates great content. A lot of it is, a lot of the free content just leads you to their paying content, but there's still a lot of great SaaS content out there. And I'd say a third way is there's some Facebook groups, some really good Facebook groups out there, especially in SaaS, but probably in any industry, where you could just get feedback from other people in the field that's going through the same challenges that you have, and just getting that feedback and seeing what other people are suggesting and doing and helping them grow their business. I found to be, tremendously valuable.
Yeah, great. And we'll put a link to your Facebook group as well in the links that'll be there with all the others that we've mentioned. So you talked before about what you've done with COVID and giving back, which is brilliant. But what else are you doing, whether it's individually or as a company, to give back?
So as a company, as I mentioned, we've done that. And if there's anybody out there who is any organizations or medical or first responders or schools that are out there that are still struggling because of COVID, reach out to us and we'll take care of you. Personally, I've taken a percentage of my time and put it aside to be able to help other entrepreneurs, where I used to coach, and charge for my coaching. Now I just really do it for free for people in my community that really need help up or need help in launching their businesses.
Yeah, excellent. And the last question's the big question at the end. So out of all the wisdom that you've shared today, what's one key action someone should take today to 10x their sales?
That's a great question. I would say, I think, I hit on it before, but I think it's changing your mindset. A lot of times people, especially in the coaching industry or in the consultant industry, or that when you're helping others in the service industry in general, right? Most people go in thinking that, hey, they're there to serve their clients, right? The clients hire you, and then, the client is always right, and that you have to do it. Client messages you at 10 o'clock at night, so you have to respond to them because they're your client. You have to change your mindset. Right? You have to change your mindset to say, you know what? No, I'm the CEO of my business. I'm the CEO of my company. It's a privilege for them to work with me, and they have to see it as that, and they have to respect my time and not to be afraid to fire, your clients, right? Because when you're happier and you're successful and your clients are successful, right? They're obviously going to tell other people about you. But if you come across as a leader, you come across as someone who's in control, you come across as a boss, which is something that we talk about a lot, being a boss. Right? If you come across as a boss, you're going to be more likely to be recommended to other people as opposed to just another freelancer or coach, etc.
Yeah, brilliant. Well, look, as you said at the start, you're an author, you're a podcaster. Also, you've got the bossitude.com, where media publication. So that's boss, BOSSITUDE.com. So we'll put once again the links in the show notes for that. And also you can go and get a free 14-day trial if you go to paulhigginsmentoring.com/blab. So that's BLAB, which is obviously short for Book Like a Boss. And you can get a free 14-day trial. And if you've got any questions, obviously, certainly ask Nakim. He can answer them. As you see, he's very open. And the Facebook group as well, I've found to be really, really powerful for not just questions about the platform, but most importantly about sales. So we're really excited to have you as a sponsor, and can't wait to see your rocket ship gain more and more momentum. So thanks for being on the show today.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you so much for having me.
I thoroughly enjoyed that podcast. You could tell I was excited, and I hope you are as well after getting it. And if you want to get that link to find out what Book Like a Boss is really like, that's 14 days. You can just go to Paul Higgins Mentoring/blab, which is BLAB, and just put a .com in there somewhere as well. So, I love the fact that some of the tips he gave around social media, also all some of the cool features. And, he even said post, like at the moment I asked for certain assets from people, which is a separate email to the booking. He said you could have all of that into the booking link. So it's a great platform, highly recommended. It's so excited that they're going to be a sponsor. So why don't you move action, or move your learning into action, I should say, by reaching out. So tell Nachum on his socials what you learned from this and how you've applied it. And if you do go and do the 14-day trial, please let him know that this is how you've come across it. Also, the transcript and all the links will be in the show notes, as I've said. Why not tell 1, 10, or 100 people about this great podcast and this incredible platform called Book Like a Boss? Be a sales hero to those people, and they will love you for it. If you want to know if you've got the sales system to continue to get those referrals outside of your network, just go to paulhigginsmentoring.com/pulse. And also check out some of our solo shows as well. They're a little shorter, 8 to 10 minutes, but I give as much value as I possibly can in those. So please take action to accelerate your sales.
I'm fired up after today's episode. What about you? But hey, before you go, learning is just one piece of the puzzle. Now it's time to put today's strategy into action. Head over now to today's show page at paulhigginsmentoring.com/podcast and share how you'll put it into action. Be sure to head over to your favorite podcast platform and subscribe, rate, and review the show. Tell me what your favorite episode is. And don't wait 1 minute more to gain access to your pulse check at paulhigginsmentoring.com. This could be the difference between struggling to get more leads and making this next quarter your best one yet.